Good morning to all my audience out there. Welcome to the show. I'm Clayton Arline. And today we're going to be stepping into a very serious conversation that too many people avoid, but too many people are living it through today. And if this touches you and if it can help you, please let's share this information along. This isn't about blaming the victim. It's about excusing abusers. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say abusers. This is about understanding the deeper forces that turn desire into dangers and connection into control. But once we get into this conversation, there's going to be a very powerful conversation. And the shift, how love can turn into fear. For some of y'all, you know, first love, first sight, I love them. Can't get enough of them, sugar, spice, and everything nice. But that's when you get around into them. And most violent relationships don't start out violent now. They start out like lovey-dovey. Oh, I love you. I can't get enough of you. Well, that's part of the strategy. But it's a couple of things that they start with: chemistries, attraction, attention, and validation. Oh, they're going to try to impress you. And if you fall for the bait, that's going to be on you. And so, but there's the truth. Sex can create a very false sense of closeness before emotional maturity. And that's about real talk. And communication or trust are actually presented. Now, let me cover a couple of important points here. When two people bond physically before they bond emotionally, there's a difference between bond physically and emotional. We need to make sure that we understand that. The relationship can become unstable. Why? Because sex can intensify attachment. I mean, when I say intensify, that means and trigger insecurity and activate past trauma. If those individuals have past trauma in their life, don't think they're going to do you any good. So therefore, you have to be very careful and be careful as to who you get involved with and what kind of relationship. When jealous when someone like emotional regulation that intensify can turn into control, jealousies, and rages. And see, do you agree with that or disagree?
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to be very careful, especially as a woman, and getting into these relationships with men these days. It's scary dating these days.
It is. It is
Things
very.
happening. I mean, it's like, who do you trust? I mean, you got to really go with your gut instincts, and if it's a red flag, it's a red flag.
So
You know,
you said it right. You got to watch out for them red flag because everything is love and double when you first meet each other. The boy eat with one hand.
that's the honeymoon stage. Remember we talked
Yeah,
about that?
right. And
Hmm.
so let me just tell you a little bit about my experience. You know, this when I was young. When you first meet a young lady, you take out on a date, and then all of a sudden, you say, wait a minute, this girl costs me more than I even got in my pocket. See, you begin to start evaluating her. She got her nails done, do all this kind of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna treat you like a queen just to get what I want. Now I'm just talking as a man point. And you tell me what is the root of violence, Sheila?
So you mean to tell me is that how men normally think?
Yep. Yep. If I can get her in the palm of my hand, I can control her. Most men fantasize like that. You man, if I guarantee she would never want to see another man. Well, see, he's tripping out on himself. So I've been there, done that. But they laughing at you at the same time. Now,
Right. Yeah,
so,
but you know what? Gang, no gang.
right,
You
right.
know, it used to be where the men can play that game, but now you have women. They go to
And
you. They go get a new car and turn it in like a used car. So
you're right.
you
No,
know,
no, that is real talk.
hmm
And these are the kind of discussion that we need to talk about is to
right. But
make.
women need to be careful. So the root of violence in intimate relationships, violence in sexual romantic relationship, it doesn't come out of nowhere. They're saying it grows from deeper wounds, like unsolved, resolved trauma. So
Wow.
let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
People who never healed from childhood neglect,
that's true.
abandonment, or abuse carry pain. They carry that pain into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it may not come out and show itself and rear its ugly head right away, but it comes out. And sex has a way of making people feel wanted.
Right.
But
That's
it
true.
also triggers a fear of losing that connection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to have that connection. Now, listen and keep that in the back of your mind, because this is what we're talking about, how relationships can turn, intimate relationships can turn violent. You know, they, once you know, have sex with them, they figure,
That's true.
oh, you know,
She
since I'm
belongs to
dealing
me.
with unhealed trauma, I'm making this connection. I can't lose you. You
That's
are
true.
mine. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes into power and control. And some people use intimacies as a way to dominate them, you know, not connect. They want to dominate you. And when they feel that relationship slipping, they respond with force.
Mm-hmm.
And
So Sheila, are you saying is that pretty much the root cause of this trauma? It started at an early age or so,
it's unhealed.
and it just magnified.
Yes. And so when they, you know, when they get in a relationship and you start getting that connection,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to leave, they can't deal with it.
That's true. That is
And
absolutely
then they want to dominate you, and men are taught not to show that emotion. So
That's right.
sometimes a woman might not even know that this guy has unhealed trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't show that emotion, but you know, they don't want to be vulnerable, or they don't express any kind of fear if you agree to go, but they
Mm-hmm.
want to control you. And when the emotional expression is forbidden, the violence becomes the language of the unresolved feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You just think about it.
Yep. No, well, you know, just like I said, most men when they that unresolved trauma, and they put in a mindset, I'm really fell in love with this young lady, and she really not showing the interest that I really want her. But I love her so much, I'm willing to do this. But if I can't have her, nobody else will. And guess what? That is a serious trauma that you
Yeah,
deal with.
when you hear that, you better run. But it's a person is kind of like shame and insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
A person who feels unworthy or inadequate, or they may try to control their partner to avoid feeling abandoned. And that's when they say, oh no, you know, you're not going nowhere. If I can't have you, nobody else gonna have you.
That's
And then
true.
that's where that cycle of violence comes in at. And if they watch somebody in their home experience violence, they may see that as normal. You know, it's
That's
like a
true.
child is doing their learned behavior. And
Mm-hmm.
so even in relationships, you know, that started with love. Um, it happens. And then it becomes a cycle. You know,
Yes.
it becomes a cycle. And to them, in their mind, it's a normal thing because it's a learned behavior. So if they
Right.
don't get that trauma that they dealt with in their childhood resolved, they
Mm-hmm.
carry that on to generations. And if they have kids, guess what their kids doing? They're watching them.
You're
So
right.
it's a generational trauma that men carry. And
That's
if
true.
young men don't see their fathers and uncles or other getting help, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna think it's normal.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
They're gonna think it's normal. So let's talk about the spiritual dimension when the souls collide. Like,
Okay. Well, this is where your voice, my voice, everyone's voice shines. And then once we let our voice shine, where everybody can hear it, and I think we can save a lot of this. We can educate people on a lot of this. And so, sex is not just physical; it is spiritual. Well, what do you mean by spiritual? It bonds people emotionally, psychologically, and energetically. So if you can promote people in that way, obviously they're going to live a better life. But you got to be an advocate, be able to help people to resolve their own issues, that early childhood trauma. And so when two people connect sexually without emotional maturity, spiritual grounding, or mutual respect, the relationship become unstable. And for me, myself, too, when I was growing up, my dad and them used to always say, "Hey, bud, get you a Christian woman, get you a woman that go to church." And as I got older, that may not be where you want to start at either. I'm not trying to come at nobody, but they were looking at, if she go to church, she must believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things that they, you can say when the soul is not ready for the levels of intimacy, the body, think about this now, the body is experiencing chaos enter into that relationship. And I hope
Well,
most people.
have you heard like when you got to watch who you have relationship sex with, because their spirit, y'all spirits are kind of like intertwined.
Yep.
And you can carry that spirit with you.
You can. And just like I say, become a generational curse. When you said earlier, if that's all they found, they used to seeing father doing this, and they're going to assume that that's okay. It's okay. And when I say that violence often erupted when one person feels spiritually empty, that one person. And when you see people feel like they're down and out, and sometimes you can look at people and tell they're going through difficulties, and one person feel emotionally abandoned. Oh man, I don't have nobody to talk to. I feel like the world came down on me, and I just feel people left me alone. And one person feel threatened by the others independent. Okay, I'm not gonna get into my family business like that, but they have tendency of being hard on each other as brothers and sisters. And I think that we'll get into that a little bit later on. One person tries to possess what they fear of losing. When I fear losing, then all of a sudden my body go through different changes. And so this is not love. This is fear wearing. It's a fear wearing a mask. See, it's just like you. It's not the real you.
Well, my opinion, when somebody enters a relationship with unresolved trauma, they try to bring that trauma onto the person they're in a relationship with.
That is true.
And then that's where the domination comes in play, where you said you loved me. Why don't you love me now? Why are you trying to leave me? This is where if you're not connected or on the same level with them, some women probably in relationship and say yes to stuff that they don't even agree with. But if they show any other than yes, or they don't want to be involved, they get the fear of this guy gonna hurt me.
Yep.
So men these days have a lot of unresolved trauma. A lot. That's all you seeing about and reading about in the news. And it's due to how they were brought up.
Yeah.
And they think it's normal, but it's they got a mental problem. They got something going on mentally that they just can't get over, that they learned. It's a learned behavior that they got from somewhere that they're trying to carry on and put on to the women they get in relationships with. You know, it all comes out. It don't start out like that, like I say, like a honeymoon. But eventually, if you watch those red flags and all that, it'll come out. You know,
and you know, I mean, why women are often the one they target. And let's talk about that. You know, I mean, women, especially Black women, they face a higher risk of intimacy partners violence because. Why is that? Especially on Black, again, at early childhood.
Exactly.
At early childhood trauma. I mean, we got to revert back to that based upon on the subject. And so women, especially Black women that face higher intimate partner violence, they are often expected. They expected to fix a broken man.
I want to be your mama.
These men looking for a mom.
They looking for a mama.
They looking for a mom. They looking to drive your car. They looking to drop you off at work, show all kind of intimacy in front of your friends. But you need to watch them red flags. Why the boy don't have a job?
But they don't even, Clayton. Some of them I seen don't even act like they love who they with.
That's
true. They
true.
got the woman driving the car and getting out pumping the gas.
Yep. Isn't it? I
And the
mean,
women working, and sometimes they leaving their kids with this messed up man who end up killing the baby.
hey, that's real talk, Sheila. That
And
is.
we as women got to be more smarter in choosing who we decide to get in a relationship with.
Well, Sheila, on the other hand, they are pressured to stay loyal even when it's unsafe. Even other way, that pressure, he's going to kill me, and I can't leave him right now because I have no one to turn to. Nobody going to help me take care of my kid. But when you put up that stationary flagpole like that, that's when the problems start. And so they may lack safety, housing, and financial independence. So that I got to rely on this man, even though he's a low down nerdy, no good, whatever. I can't leave him. But when you start feeling insecure like that, that childhood trauma gonna set in. Then you're gonna become a target. I hate to say that, but society often minimize their pain.
But yeah, because the women normally report somebody, being violent towards them, domestic abuse. And then they say, oh, no, it's all right. I don't want to report it.
Right.
Then next thing you know, it's too late. They gone.
You're right.
But let's reverse this, Clayton. Think of this. You talk about the men and the women, the men being the breadwinners, but I've seen it where the women are the ones who's working and bringing in the money, but they still choose these, what you call them, scumbags.
Yeah.
That are depending on them, that are controlling them on what they do.
That's true. I can witness that. Would you like to say that early childhood trauma?
Well, maybe the woman experienced that also growing up in a household being controlled like that.
But also, Sheila, I got to look at too. I'm just looking at the environment. The environment has a direct impact. When everybody's poor, everybody live in the same neighborhood, everybody take hard work and they drink and smoke, that can add to the problem, this violence. Because a lot of these young men these days, they drinking, they smoking, they get high, and they fall in love with these young girls, don't know what love is all about, but they wind up killing them. That early childhood.
That's not love.
No, it's not. That's not. I mean, Sheila, let me ask you something. As an advocate, what type of warning signs you think you should recommend these women to look for?
Control. Somebody want to control them and don't want them to be around their family or friends. And just
I can witness that.
I can witness that. You went through that?
No, I witnessed that. I got friends that's still around, and all you got to do is sit back and observe. You can tell that the person is under fear. You can tell they're too afraid to speak up because that person has them in total check.
That's toxic.
Yeah, it is. It is a toxic. It is a toxic relationship. And so when I was actually before violence erupted, there are usually signs, and I know that you can talk about these signs in segment 5.
Yeah, but you know what? A woman should never have to sacrifice her safety to prove a loyalty. Never sacrifice your safety to prove your loyalty. Best thing you could do is tell somebody what you're going through and don't tell him what you're planning to do.
Right. That'd be a setup. Especially if he's a jealous type.
So we're going to talk about the warning signs now. So before the violence comes, you experience extreme jealousy. Oh my God. Why he looking at you?
Right. Exactly.
So where you going? Who you talking to? Let me see your phone.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. Let me see your phone. Good gracious. I mean, isolate you, like I say, from your family and friends, because I don't want them to know what's going on.
Right.
But they can do what they want to do. They can go hang out to the club, bar, drink, smoke, whatever, party, have plenty of other girlfriends. You just somebody he come to home and want to control. The other lady he ain't controlling. He pick and choose which one's weak in the mind to get total control over.
Hey, that's real
talk. Y'all men know what y'all doing.
Yeah, so, I like hearing it from you to educate these other women, because me on the other side, I can, agree how men react towards certain situations, especially when they don't have a pot to, do that out of.
The pot to piss in.
Yeah. And so I'm relying on you. I'm relying on this woman who I told I love her so much I can't get enough of you, sugar, spice, everything. Now, and by her being weak-minded, and she have not been in a relationship, she will fall for that in a New York minute. But what she needed to do is do a self-assessment of herself. How do you feel about yourself? Are you going to sell yourself cheap? And that's where you're going to get played cheap. Sorry for the interruption, but I got a little emotional.
No, but you know how the game's played. Men know how the game's played. Mm-hmm. Before the violence.
That damn phone made me mad again. Russell, my cousin. I don't want to talk to him. Let me turn this thing off. Go ahead, Sheila. Sorry about that.
Okay, so before violence erupts, there are normally signs.
Yep.
Like I talked about, is extreme jealousy. Mm-hmm. Remember this, ladies.
Extreme jealousy.
Try to isolate you from your family and friends. Anybody try to isolate you from the family and friends, that's just being controlled.
You're right.
They want to control your life. That's a big red flag. Mood swings. They blame you on their mood. So they can have another relationship with another woman and get mad at the other woman and come home and take it out on you, and you ain't done nothing.
You're right.
These men are players, but you know what, ladies? It's time for us to be players. Okay, verbal insults. They talk about you, they talk down at you, and it's not physical abuse, but it's emotional abuse.
When that verbal insult, you mean cursing and or physical? Emotion.
Talk about you, look at you with your ugly stuff, sitting up in here.
You're right.
You're fat. You're ugly.
Yep.
Can't do nothing. And men like that have a woman like that they can control and make her feel bad, and she stay with them.
You're right. That's real talk.
That's controlling behavior, Clayton. Mm-hmm. And then when they want sex, hey, with the woman just there, she just gonna do it just because he want it.
Right.
that ain't nothing. No, and then these, they make big threats during arguments. I mean, you better take that threat as a serious threat. Mm-hmm. They don't be talking about that, just be talking. They serious when they talk about that. So if these are not red flags to you, they better be. These are alarms. That mean you better get your stuff together and get the packing and moving. Because if you're with somebody like that, if you don't take action, it could be your life.
Right.
And I know a lot of times your friends and family knows what's going on. You don't want to listen to them. They can see when it's something different.
Exactly.
That's how you act. Your friends know she ain't acting the same. Who? I can't say what I want to say on here.
No, I know you talking real talk, Bill.
No, I can't say that word what I want to say. But they already, the women, your friends already did their homework on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
They try to tell you, no, he ain't good for you, sis. No, and you're like, no, he real nice. He taking me, he giving me flowers.
Right.
And because he give you flowers and buy you perfume and purse, don't mean that he's the one for you. That's just gifts. Gifts don't mean nothing to gifts mean a lot to some women, but for independent women, gifts don't mean nothing. It's how you show up and treat a person and respect, and show, because if you have somebody, normally these men don't like to bring you around other people. Mm-hmm. They want to keep you
in the dark,
and you cooking and doing everything for him, cleaning and working, and he treating you like crap. Oh, but he's here. That's where these women must be really lonely or desperate.
You're right.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
and you want to say something in between that?
No, because I know that you're talking real talk, because I experience it, and I live around some jealous friends that I see how they treat their wives, and their wives are just totally afraid to speak up. They want to go out and stay out all night, hang out with the boys, and then again, he wants to keep her away from her friends, her mothers, her father. they're no good. As long as he can isolate you from the crowd, you playing ready to
Guess
his
what that does to the woman? That
I know
lowers
Trump
her
is.
self-esteem. She start not taking care of herself, looking bad,
Listen,
don't fix herself up. And just what happened? She used to be all nice and dressed and good looking and this, and now she
they're letting herself go.
just let yourself go.
Wow.
Let yourself go. Women, please do not let yourself go. Can you talk about the healing and accountability, Clayton?
Well, yes, the healing accountability. The healing requires, Sheila, and I know healing requires a lot of therapy. I mean, you got to identify your own issues. When I say you have to be able to identify your own issues, your emotional, educational type of background, you have to be able to have this kind of therapy and community. You got to have community support too. Without community support, you cannot do anything. That's what the community should be about, is helping those who are going through strugglings and times in their life.
But do they?
No, they don't.
Some of us are so proud that we don't want to ask for help.
That's true. And Sheila, please don't talk about me, please. Thank you. I mean, we're not going there. I get hard-headed sometimes.
I'm not talking about you, but you can get hard-headed at times.
Yeah, but if the shoe fit, wear it, right? All right. Look, and now this message for the men especially. Do you boys hear me? And if you don't hear me, please pass this message on to all you boys that are living in the house, living outside the house. Learn to feel without harming. Learning to love without controlling. Learning to communicate without violence. Now, if we can work with that, you will have a healthy relationship. Now, let me read that again to make sure that everybody understands it. Learning to feel without harming. Learning to love without controlling, and learning to communicate without violence. And some of you, that's all you know is violence. You want to, like I say, you got to look at your background, how you raised up, and this is the reason why you treat other people that way. But again, Sheila, we're gonna continue this one, and my thing is that we're gonna break the cycle. Healing after intimate partner violence. Again, I already went over Sheila and Clayton. This is our podcast, and we come at you with real talk. We talk about things that's going to empower you or make you more aware. Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of our conversation on how sexual relationship can turn into violence.
Can I say something?
And more importantly, how people can heal from it.
If you're in a violent relationship, you deserve safety.
That's true. Absolutely.
If you have been caused any kind of harm, you must, not need to, must seek help and accountability. And if you're listening to us on this podcast, just keep this in mind as we're having this discussion. Healing is possible. Men, women, healing is possible. Change is possible. But guess what? You got to be the change.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to be the change.
Yes.
You cannot, nobody can change you. You have to be the change. And love, real love, is never violent. Real love is never violent. What does love mean? Love doesn't mean violence. Love is love. That's not changed the meaning of it. It's not loving somebody when you have control over them, being dominant, trying to tell them how to live their lives, trying to keep them from their friends, trying to keep them in the house, being depressed, talking down to them, giving them mental and verbal, physical abuse. That's not love. Get it, man. It's not love.
Right. And
yourself and change.
Well, Sheila, when you think of that, Sheila, I like what we're talking about, because, most men, a lot of them don't understand what love is all about. The word "I love you" don't mean shit. I can say that 24 hours, but if it's gonna make you feel good, well, I'm doing it to make you feel good. But real love is real love, because you go above and beyond what is expected.
It's your actions.
Your action, you're right. Actions speak louder than words. You say you love me, well, look at your action showing something else different. And so, the aftermath, what survivor carry? Well, the aftermath, what does these survivor carry? Well, Sheila, something people don't understand is that the violence doesn't end with the relationship end. The survivor carries emotional, psychological, and they also carry something spiritually wound as long afterward. It's something that's going to be, and I got the doggone thing in the kitchen. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Clayton. Many survivors struggle, and they struggle with the guilt and shame and confusion. And they ask themselves, why did I stay? Or how did I get this far? But the truth is, abusive relationships, they're built on manipulation, not weakness. Is these people know how to manipulate you, your mind, to make you control their thoughts and things. It's a strategy. It's a strategy men use.
Right. And and like I said, a lot of times women say, well, why did I stay so long? Well, we gave you the red flag, but sometimes love is blind. It's just like,
it's not love though.
Yeah, you're right. It's not love. You're right. And when we, especially women, when they see their friend with someone that looks like he's something, and not realizing that's a dog that she's dealing with, and you say to yourself, well, everything shines is not gold. They out there styling, profiling, but they got more problems than Carter had liver pills. You know what I mean? So,
but I think it's not love. I think some women get into it's the connection. The connection, just I'm with this person.
Yes.
They think they can get love from it, and some men don't even want them.
You're right. You said it right. Boy, he loves me so much. Look how he opened the door after a week. You got to open that door for yourself. And so I'm gonna tell you something. These players out here, let's talk real talk. I'm a man just like everybody else. But what you talking right now is real talk. It's enlightening women on how to protect themselves. And so me, myself, is and trauma, the bonds are real. That trauma is real. It ain't nothing, it's nothing fake about it. When someone alters between affection and harm, the brain gets trapped into a cycle of hope and fear. And that's talking about real talk.
That's right. And breaking that cycle, it ain't gonna come fast.
No,
it's gonna take a lot of time. And you're gonna have to have support and compassion and not judgment. A lot of people get frustrated because their friends and family judge them.
You're right. That is true.
And we ladies, we need to come up with a strategy. We have to come up with a strategy, a plan to break that cycle. Because if you just say, I'm going to do this right away, it's dangerous. Especially sometimes you don't need to let people know what you're doing.
You're right. And this is one of the reasons why you let some people, they return back to their relationship. And let's talk about something they always misunderstood. My survivors sometimes go back. Why are you going back? If that boy did all this damage to you and he'll come back and sweet talk you, hey, baby, I made a mistake. Please let me come back. I mean, I'm quite sure you've had friends or say that same thing.
People say, why didn't they just leave? But a lot of them, they say leaving is not simple.
You're right.
They got kids probably together with them. Emotional ties, finances tied together, barriers. So you fear of retaliation, and
women's under a lot of pressure. Bottom line is that, and I mean, let's talk about something they misunderstand why survival work. Now, Sheila, let's be honest about this thing. The abusers often always, man, I apologize. Man, I didn't mean it. I just lost my head. And they make promises. And these promises going to all change. The minute he think you done forgot about it, all them girl, I ain't gonna stop cursing. I'm gonna stop doing all these things. But let me tell you something. Uh, um, a fox is a fox, no matter how you look at it. They apologize, they change, or use guilt to pull the person back in. Great, baby, can I get one more chance?
No.
Okay.
No, you know what? That's a sacred no, but another kind of no. And survivors, they still love the person, but I think it's confusion on what the love is. What do they see as love? That's
right.
my thing. Is that really love when somebody abuse you?
No.
Is that really love?
No, that's not love.
Even if they fear that person behavior, they think that it's going to disappear.
No, it doesn't disappear.
If that person don't get help, it ain't going to disappear. It may be, things may quiet down for a while and everything's going nice and rosy, but it's gonna come back up.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
It's gonna come back up. You can get me one time, I'll be darned. You ain't gonna get me twice.
That's what I'm talking about. This is why we need empathy and not blame, Sheila. I mean, the roles of the community. Let's talk about that. The roles of the community.
Clayton, I think the community plays a huge role in healing.
I think also plays a
because you know why? A lot of these survivors, they feel like they don't have nobody, like they isolate.
That's true. That is absolutely true. And so when I look at things like that, yes, and sometimes the community unintentionally now reinforce the cycle. People say things like "stay for the kids" or "every relationship has problems." Well, see, that's when you fall. Stay for the kids. If you're getting abused every day, misused, abuse, look, don't let the kids.
So the kids gonna see you get beat up, hit in the head,
yes,
knocked out, police coming. So you gonna think that's normal? You know, a lot of people get that where they get it from. You're a minister, they go to the church and they tell them to stay.
Yeah, exactly. Look,
and then a month later they doing their funeral.
Yeah, see again.
I'm sorry, I had to say that.
No, but I'm gonna tell you, it's supposed to be a place of safety, a place of comfort. But again, I know by the laws, the pastor don't supposed to discuss anything. Let me tell you something. If it's dealing with life and death, I'm going to speak up because I don't care what the law says.
Yeah, and that's how it is in the military. When you tell the chaplain something, it could be the worst thing in the world. It's confidentiality.
Right, exactly. And so
they don't have to tell anybody what you said.
And so, Sheila, but I'm saying that, but strength is not suffering. Would you agree with that? And strength is choosing safety, choosing healing, and it's also choosing for yourself.
And I agree wholeheartedly with that, choosing for yourself. Black women, we were taught we're strong.
Yes, you are.
We're stronger than what people think we are. We're strong. We got endurance, we got resilience, and we know how to hold the family together. So when you see a strong Black woman go through abuse, it hurts.
It does.
It hurts. Because somebody took advantage of her strength.
That's true. And let's talk about this accountability for those who caused the harm. Okay, you caused the harm. What kind of accountability that you're gonna have? You done fool around, messed your wife up for life, and now all of a sudden you out of jail the next week, and here she done dismantled her face. I see it all the time, and they seem as though is that they don't care much for the woman. They protect the man, and so now let's talk about on the other side the one who caused the harm, Sheila. Healing isn't just for survival. Accountability is part of the process also of healing.
Clayton, I had a friend went through all of this. You talking about accountability?
Mm-hmm.
He went to jail. Guess what he did when he got out of jail? When she was trying to get him out of jail and got him out of jail, he stabbed her 30-something times.
Oh my God. That is early childhood trauma.
Yes. You talk about accountability. These people, yeah, for domestic violence, they're going to jail, but they letting them back out.
That's
and
true.
they haven't even gotten help.
You did right.
So
you know what you said just then?
Accountability is not strong enough for me. I'm sorry, as a woman.
Right.
It doesn't mean punishment when you say accountability. It means responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Responsibility.
Right.
It means that person has to acknowledge the harm, and they need to get help.
That's
and
true.
Commit to changing before they go back into society.
Right. And that has
because
to be.
I'm like, I can't believe this. She fought all this time to get him out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
He gets out of prison, open the door, start stabbing her.
Man, see, that's like I say, just got some people just ain't not responsible, but
and it's a lot of that happening. Why are black men hurting the black women?
You know, that's we're gonna have to do another podcast, and men's especially. This means learning emotional regulation, learning to communicate, learn to sit without discomfort instead of reacting with control. In other words, you're always ready to blow up. You don't even you hear what I'm saying, but you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Exactly. And I was going to make that point because some men, they say, oh, there she go. She nagging again.
Mm-hmm.
Nag. But are you really listening to what she is trying to say? And if you don't want to hear what she's trying to say, you'll block it.
You're right.
It's like an old record. The record is scratched. You said that before. Take the needle off the record. I don't want to hear that.
Right. That's real life, though.
I know, but when people go through something like that, they always say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Apology don't work all the time. You done said it too much. You done used that card already.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies aren't enough. You know what's enough? It's for you to get help and for you to change. And your change is only shown to me as a woman through your behavior.
That's right.
Not your weak, empty promises. Your behavior has to change.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to want to get the help that you need to get out that trauma that you have in your body and it's taking over your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's harming yourself and others. You're carrying a bad spirit with you, and LOVE is not it.
Oh, I thought you said when you love me, you can't get enough of me, and sugar and spice and everything nice. But that's
those words work in elementary school. They don't mean
true. Hey, girl, look, I know you're right. Look, the only thing that I can say, chill. We got to learn how to break this generational curse, girl. Mm-hmm. I mean, because if we don't begin to break it, more people are going to die. More black women or women in general are going to die as a result. A lot of this goes back to generational. People repeat what they saw growing up. That you said that earlier.
Yes. And if we sit there and let the TV babysit our children and they're watching all these shows on TV, watching violence, and they think it's normal.
Yeah, that's true.
When they play those games, shooting up people, mentally they think it's normal.
But it grows.
When they come the victim of aggression, they don't think nothing of it.
You're right.
They can do something bad. Okay, whatever.
Right, that's true.
Why are our kids acting like this?
Mm-hmm.
Why are our children acting like this? Like it means nothing if you go up to shoot somebody.
You see, it just, in other words,
no expression, no emotions whatsoever. This definitely has to stop.
It has to stop, and Sheila, and breaking the cycle require awareness is what we're trying to do right now, making the community aware of all the stuff that is going on. It requires saying, this is enough. I'm tired of it. You're going to put an end to it. And
we have to teach this generation emotional intelligence.
You're right.
Emotional intelligence. Now they started teaching in the military. You had to go to class for emotional intelligence.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes, and resilience. How to have emotional intelligence and resilience. And boundaries. And boundaries when you're in a relationship. And you must, when we talked about this last time, you must have communication.
To me, that's the key.
You have to have communication because look, we could talk, your friends could talk. Oh, I don't agree with that. You don't have to have no attitude because you don't agree with it. I like to be around people that don't agree with everything I say because that makes me think a different way and saying, oh, okay, I never thought of it that way.
You're right.
People are so close-minded that they only want to hear what they want to hear and what they want to feel. But you're not opening yourself up. You keeping all your thoughts about you and not understanding what the other person is saying. So the conflict resolution and communication is key. It's a must. We have to teach our children how to communicate and stop holding the anger in and taking it out as an aggressor on somebody else. Our kids that got so wrapped up in social media and not really talking and discussing things among themselves, they're quick to go to violence and shoot instead of fighting fist fight.
Right.
Don't like.
And just like you say, I mean, violent throughout. And when I say to you, because love without emotional maturity become chaos. And for me, actions speak louder than words. And when you said earlier about how men's are perceived, but like I said, if we have not been taught, we don't know better. We just assume that, my uncle beating up on his woman, this man, oh, that's cool. That's the way he controls her. But we need to find a solution. We got to save these women because right now, Sheila, it is more dangerous now than ever. It's more women are getting caught up into these violent relationships. And sometimes they go seek help, but sometimes they done did everything they can. But that abuser will try to find a way to get back to her.
But let me do it. Let me say this way. Women, we have experienced the same thing as men. Why is it that we know how to get help or don't repeat those generational curses like the men do?
You're right.
Why is that?
That's a good comparison. That's a good comparison. That is a good comparison.
We the same generation. We experienced violence, but now we're grown. We react to it different from what men do.
Yeah, that's true. That's real talk. It looked like, well, Sheila, let me talk about it. It looked like third, but it looked like a support group. It looked like rebuilding self-worth. It looked like learning what healthy love feels like. And this is why we are talking about this here. And I appreciate you coming on. It's good to listen to both sides. You hear my side and I'm hearing your side. So this is how we learn to communicate, not being closed-minded. And so
it looks like you're giving yourself permission to start over without shame. That's what it looks like.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I think so.
Needs to start over.
I agree.
Reflect, get help, and swallow that pride without shame.
That's what
you say you need help.
Right.
Men need to swallow their pride. If they need help and they want something to work and they really want to love a person, they got to put the work in.
And you know what, Sheila? I mean, that is real. When you think about that, is that, and for those who cause a lot of harm out there to those that you say that you love, Healing looks like accountability, emotional education, and commitment to never repeat that cycle again. As to what are you going to do not to repeat the cycle? Are you going to keep saying the same thing? You know, they call it insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over, and you expect a different outcome. You crazy. If you talk about, I love this woman, well, show it.
Yes,
I mean,
action speaks louder than words. But in closing, healing is not about forgetting. You don't forget what happened when you heal.
no, you don't.
It's about how you deal with what you went through and how you reclaim your life. You have to reclaim your life, your self-identity.
I totally agree. But, you know, breaking the cycle is not about perfection. It is about intentional awareness and growth. And if we plan on breaking this cycle, that's exactly what it's going to have to do. And
So people, if you're listening today, know this. You deserve safety. You deserve peace. And you deserve real love that doesn't hurt. Real love doesn't hurt.
well, that's very, 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 very strong. And Sheila, I mean, having these kind of talk shows is priceless, because we are talking to those who cannot talk for themselves, and we talk to those who not able to talk for themselves. So sharing this information about educating women, especially Black women, we talked about the cause and the effect, how you get caught into a cycle. And but I want to say something to all the audience out there. I would like for you to share this, dislike, hit the notification button, and because we know that it's going to intensify, but we will be coming on live at times. So we just got to pick a time to do this. So we want to thank you for joining us into this part 2, and stay grounded and stay aware and stay connected to the one that you say you love the most. And I'm going to say to all my viewers out there, life has a beginning and life has an ending. Life is a gift. Have you learned to accept it? Life is a puzzle. Can you solve it? Life is a journey. Can you complete it? Well, we gave you all the information that you needed in order to start a new journey. And believe me, it's only going to get better. Only if we get you all to share our videos, and you can look on our YouTube channel. And we don't know what our next subject is, but we talk about real talk. So I'm gonna close out. Sheila, you have anything else to say?
We're going to continue this. We have a few more segments on this subject and how the community can help also.
So,
But if you have any feedback, we would love to hear your feedback about this, so we can continue to talk on these discussions.
But just give y'all a little bit of background about me and Sheila. We both retired military. And again, we feel that we are true advocates of telling the truth and being able to help those, especially those in the veterans home, not in the veterans home, anyone that's going through difficulties. Our job is to be able to inspire you and promote and to make you aware of what's going on. But until next time, may God bless you, and continue to pray, ask God for strength, and knowing that he can make a way out of no way. Well, until next time, may God bless you. Adios.